Good afternoon, everyone. Sharice Jervis Hill here, president and founder of Events to Remember and PR to Remember with our Coffee with Cher podcast series. And I am excited. I mean, you guys know I'm always excited, but I'm like really excited for our guest this afternoon, Tracy Benson. We'll talk about it. I don't want to kind of go into it, but I'm really excited to have Tracy here with us today. She is the founder and CEO of On the Next Page. Tracy, welcome to Coffee with Cher.
Thank you so much, Sharice. I am wildly thrilled to be here.
Same here. So, let's do our little afternoon cheers. Look
Yes.
how cute your mug is.
And
Um,
this is a nod to my four-legged feline who's often my office mate.
oh, your office roommate. I'm travel mugging it today because I kind of, been on the run.
As you often are.
Very true, very true. All right, so Tracy, so tell us about on the next page. Tell us how you got started. Tell us a little bit about your company. Walk us through your journey.
For sure. Thank you. So it's hard to believe this, but I realized recently I'm actually a three-time business owner.
Three times,
The reason,
everybody.
yeah, so three's the charm.
Yes.
And the reason that's so surprising to me is I actually never intended to go down this path. So the fact that I did it three times should be telling me something. So my current company is actually an outgrowth of my previous company. This company is called On the Next Page, which
Mhm.
is a nod to the future, of course. My last company was called On the Same Page, and that I led for 19 years. We were, I think, one of the original virtual companies. We founded in 2002. And for me, the intention was to assemble a dream team, and I didn't care where they were. So literally, we had ultimately had 17 people all over the US. And
Wow.
that, right? And so we did business this way. And that business was focused on employee communication and employee engagement during transformational change. So
Hmm.
most of our clients were global, sort of Fortune 250 type companies,
Hmm.
and it was really an amazing adventure, just an amazing adventure. That company had sort of three different stages of life, as I like to think about it, and we were we did really well, I have to say, and it really was a dream team.
Hmm.
We worked with some, I think about nine. The average client relationship lasted 9 years.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
I know, for consulting, right? And
Yeah,
18 of our clients actually took us with them from company to company.
that's amazing.
So we had these incredibly long-lasting relationships. And what ultimately evolved was, as we were working with these companies and these executives who were championing and sponsoring massive change initiatives in their company, I became the unofficial, I like to say, the chief listening officer.
Mm.
So these folks, these executives were, think companies like PepsiCo and Novartis and ADP and Ingersoll Rand, so big time companies. These folks were leading really huge initiatives. They were high risk, they were high visibility, and they were high impact. They couldn't really talk to anybody inside of the company about how they really felt about what was going on. So
Yeah.
I became that person back in the day where we did this. For
Hmm.
people who don't know what that is, it's a phone. So literally, they would just call me and talk to me about what they were concerned about, what they were, what's around the corner. Obviously, the team was handling all the strategy and the tactical implementation, but we weren't really doing anything to support the psyche of those leaders who were doing that hard work. And
Hmm.
I became, by default, the person on the team who was doing that. Then I realized, ooh, I love this. I
Hmm.
love this because when you're dealing with a person like that,
Hmm.
the impact on one small behavior change can have ripple effects that affect hundreds and hundreds of people, if not more.
People. Hmm.
And so I started thinking about, wow, I really love this. I really love this. And then out of the blue, well, not really, because nothing is really out of the blue, but one of those clients had just become promoted to report to the CEO. And we were standing together on the campus of that company's location, headquarters. And she looked at me and said, Tracy, please put together a coaching plan for me. And I was like a deer in headlights. I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me get back to you on that. Because
Mm-hmm.
even though I'd been doing that, I suddenly had this instant, like, who am I to say that I can do this? So literally, I ran around trying to find the long and short of it is I went back to school again, which
Mm-hmm.
I've done multiple times in my life, and became certified as an executive coach around that time, 2018, 2019,
Mm-hmm.
On the Same Page was starting, and especially in 2020 with the pandemic,
Yeah.
things were really starting to wind down in that company. And I thought, well, this is cool. I'm an executive coach now.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin actually helped me come up with the name. I wanted to keep some continuity from the old company to the new. So we went from On the Same Page to On the Next Page, and that's what I've been doing since.
So Tracy, I was going to ask you when you said on the next page, did I say when I introduced you, did I say on the same page?
Nope, you said it
And on the
correctly.
next, okay, because I know I've known you for a really long time and I know you from on the same page. And when you said on the next page to myself, I said, I hope I didn't say on the same page. And then I said to myself, damn, that is genius. Like what you did with tying in the two brands, like a sneak peek, like events to remember, we're going to be like rebranding for next year. I'm just letting you know because it's been 21 years, so it's time.
Wow,
But
you're an
when you,
adult.
I'm an adult, I'm an adult. So when you said that, a little bell like rang. I was like, damn, that was really smart the way you guys did that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And there is, as there often is, a dark side to every light side, right?
Hmm.
I don't know that I would have done it exactly the same. So
No.
I love it. I love the nod to the old work that we
Hmm.
did. I love the nod to the all those amazing, rich and robust relationships that we developed along the way that I just my life wouldn't be the same without all of that.
Hmm.
And yet I got feedback from people that they didn't get it, that we had actually shifted what we were
Okay.
doing. So I think I love, so there are pros and cons to it.
Got
And
it.
now that I'm like firmly ensconced in it now 6 years, I think people really get it. And what I do like about the name On the Next Page is it really is it's future oriented. And
Yeah.
that's really the work that I do is about what's next for the people that I'm working with and what is next for them, what's next for their companies, etc.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So that's good just for business owners to know. I mean, thank you for sharing that, because that's a part of that whole entrepreneurial journey.
Totally. And by the way, I love sharing fails because nobody talks about fails and
Yeah,
we all have them.
all of
And
us.
and you know what? Those fails, in my opinion, are two things. One, an unbelievable gift of learning if we're open to it.
Yeah,
And two, often the stepping stone to the thing that doesn't fail.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so Tracy, what sets you apart from others in your space?
I love this question. So, I've always been a brain geek. I just love to think about the way that our brains work, why people do what they do, why they behave the way that they do. And so, initially, when I started the coaching, I gravitated towards incorporating a number of different fields from neuroscience, which I really lean heavily into,
Mm.
to also elite athletic coaching and also the science behind habit formation. So
Mhm.
initially, my coaching was really grounded in a lot of that. And then about 5 or so years ago, I discovered a school that combines everything that is meaningful to me in my personal life. So mind, body, spirit. And
Mhm.
in the course of working with them, I have now become master level certified in 10 different modalities, including,
Wow.
I know it's like, so people who are listening and watching, there is never an end to learning if you don't want there to be. It's
Wow.
really, it's if you want to learn, you don't have to stop learning, period.
Amazing.
So now I bring in things like hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming and a lot of somatic coaching. I'm also a Reiki master, so energy healing. And so
Hmm.
what this has allowed me to do is, when I'm working with corporate executives or business owners,
Hmm.
I'm bringing in those tools and those perspectives that I think can help them where they are. So it's really a matter of meet them where they are.
Hmm.
And also separately, I've been able to develop a body of work that I offer to individuals,
Hmm.
whether or not they're executives. Some of them, some people in that area of my work are senior executives who just really want to do this deeper, more life-changing work. Some are retirees, some are, business owners that know that they need to get out of their own way but don't know how to do that. So
Hmm.
that work is really all about, it's really a lot of teaching as well as it is me guiding
Hmm.
about the operating system of our mind.
Mm.
Because nobody teaches us that when we're growing up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like we have to get a driver's license. To get a driver's license, we actually have to go to driver's ed. But we have this engine that runs us
Yeah.
every minute of every day, and nobody requires that we learn anything about it.
It's
Isn't that crazy?
it's like parenthood. Like we have these kids and it's like, here you go, figure it out. It's like,
Yeah, do your best.
so very true. Oh my goodness. And I've actually had the pleasure of attending one of your sessions and actually a couple of your sessions. And you really walk away feeling, inspired and energy level, up. So definitely recommend folks give it a try. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
of
appreciate
course.
that.
So speaking of that, like what's new? Anything new and exciting happening?
For sure. So I decided that I really am so passionate about this business of people having access to understanding their operating system
Hmm.
that a couple years ago I created a program for I like to think of it as regular people like
Hmm.
you, me, our neighbors, the fam, relatives, whomever, who
Yeah.
just really want to understand how to work better with our mind and do really honestly the primary motivation is people who want to get out of the passenger seat of life and get into the driver's seat of life.
Mm.
And the program's called the Mind Manual. I've run it many, many times now, and I've made it deliberately affordable so that you don't have to pay executive coaching kinds of rates like companies invest in, so
Hmm.
it's easily investable. And what the couple cohorts ago, the folks in that program said, we don't want this to end. So can you just build us something? And I
Nice.
was like, wow, that's cool. Neither do I want it to end. So
Hmm.
I created something called Mind Manual Momentum. And the
Mm.
prerequisite is this 6 week Mind Manual course. Why? So that everybody in Mind Manual Momentum has the same language, the same tools. We've all
Mm.
done the same exercises. And that momentum group that meets twice a month has really grown into a beautiful community of people who are celebrating each other and supporting each other and sharing stories about how this tool, created this shift in their lives. And oh, but this person is stuck over here, and what can we all do to support them? What tools, do we recommend? So it's really become beautiful. So the next Mind Manual, which is that 6 week program,
Mm.
is launching on October 9th. And because I just am so grateful to be a part of your podcast and Coffee with Cher, I would love to offer anybody who's listening a 15% discount
Mm.
from on that course, which starts on the 9th, October 9th, Thursday, from 4 to 5:15 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so 15%. What do they say? Because I'm going to add that to the show notes.
Perfect. I can give you the link, which I can certainly send you to put in the show notes. And then
Okay.
when whoever wants to register, in the checkout page, we can put this in the show notes as well. The coupon is podcast special,
Okay.
podcast special, and you'll immediately get 15% off.
And is there any lowercase or uppercase or anything? Just podcast special.
Just podcast special, doesn't matter. Yeah.
So this episode is actually going to air on the 9th in the afternoon. So guys, you'll be able to plug that in and get your 15% off. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, join us.
Yeah, so that sounds great and happy to kind of get the word to help you get the word out about that.
Thank you.
And then before we go into our last question, which everybody knows is my favorite question, I just wanted to kind of go down memory lane and to say, so Tracy and I have known each other for a really long time. She was at that time on the same page, CEO and founder. And I don't know how we connected, but I know you called. You were it was Adam, my love. Hello, Adam. I hope you're listening. Um, it was his bar mitzvah, and I we connected and I planned it and he has a special place in my heart. He's a grown man now, he's a grown professional and still the gentleman that he was at 13 years old. And I will never forget we were on the school bus because everybody knows bar mitzvahs kids get on the bus, they go to the venue and kidsing and making up words, but they were
It's for
being
kids.
kids. And I remember he stood up on the school bus and told all his friends, basically like, quiet down, and I was like, thank you, like I got it, but thank you. Such a gentleman.
Oh,
So,
you're bringing tears to my eyes, Charisse.
yeah, him and Ryan. So just such amazing, at that time, young men, now men. And Tracy, you're such a great mom. And I just wanted to put that out there, just, because they both now, all of these years later, and when I think of them, I get that warm and fuzzy feeling. So,
And thank you so much for saying that. And I will never forget because I was not on the bus. I was a parent that was going, and you told me that, and I was just flabbergasted and so happy. And yeah, I think about that whenever I think about you as well. And
yeah.
like you, Charisse, I raised companies and children together. It's like
Yes.
when you raise them like right in parallel.
Exactly. It's so true, right? Because they were young and now we both have adult children. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, Tracy, my favorite question. Entrepreneur, that's what this podcast, Coffee with Cher, we're really about helping our fellow entrepreneurs. You've been doing this a really long time. You've had different phases of your company, and that's what it's about too. It's about making those adjustments. It's about making those shifts, right?
Yeah.
So what advice would you share? And it could be a new entrepreneur just starting out. It could be someone who's been in business for a while that's kind of having a rough time. What advice would you share, Tracy?
Thank you. I also love this question, and I love listening to all of your guests answering this question
Don't
because
we have great nuggets? Oh my gosh.
I mean, you really could weave together all of that and make something. I mean, I'm sure you're thinking of something, but I'm grabbing tissue because you seriously brought tears to my eyes with the
Oh.
story of my sons.
Adam and Ryan are gonna kill us, right? I'm sorry.
No, they're gonna love it. They're gonna eat it up. Are you kidding me? So, so I have two nuggets that I would like to share, and with respect to what advice would I give entrepreneurs? The first has to do with prioritizing your passion.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, most of us went down this path as previous to us doing this podcast. You and I were chatting about the different businesses that I accidentally started, never intending to, because I had a passion for something. And most of us get here because we have a passion for something. And so, but as business owners, we end up doing a lot of different things, right? Um, a lot of things that sometimes might feel tedious or boring or demanding, or certainly maybe are not energizing. And
Mhm.
so it can be easy to lose that spark of passion that got us here in the first place.
Yeah.
So, my thing number one really is prioritizing, setting aside time, whatever that means, whether whatever periodic basis it makes sense for you to bring that passion into the day to day. And so, is that passion writing for you? Is that passion networking? Believe it or not, some people's passion is selling,
Mhm.
while for many people it isn't. But for me, it's learning and connecting the dots. So I routinely create space in my calendar. Well, I'm constantly in a course of some sort. I mean, literally, I've been back to school again a million times, and I'm just finishing a 3-year program with all
Wow.
these master certifications. So, one of the things I do is I routinely give myself time to think about what I'm learning here, what I'm learning there, what I'm learning there, what I'm experiencing in the work, and connecting dots to create something.
Mhm.
And because that just gives me so much juice, it gives me so much energy. And sometimes I'll create things that I'm wildly excited about that nobody else is. Getting back to those fails. But, it's not a fail because even though those things might not have been a commercial success,
Mhm.
they allowed me to build off of that into something else. So for me, number one is prioritizing passion. That's thing one.
Mhm.
Thing two is, and I know you're going to agree with this, Sharice, and I'd love to hear your perspective on it too, is really finding those people, whether it's small groups or individuals, that you can cultivate relationships with to learn from, to grow together, to encourage each other, etc. So I have a couple of little small groups in different areas of the work that I do,
Mhm.
and some people that are not involved in the work that I do at all, that I really rely on to help me flesh out different perspectives or unorthodox ideas, or if I'm just feeling super stuck, to help
Yeah.
me, get moving. And along the way, the relationships have become so beautiful. I
Mhm.
would move mountains for them, they would move mountains for me. And as you well know, this is not a road you want to go down all by yourself.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's thing two. And, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that if we have time.
No, I love that because look, running a business, right, being an entrepreneur, it gets lonely at times, right? The buck stops with you,
That's right.
even when you have a team and if something goes wrong, like the buck always stops with you. So I think it's important um, to have people that you can kind of talk to about different topics, and it's good to have obviously you want to have people that are in your industry in your network because it's relatable, right? But it's also good to get an outside perspective because sometimes you're in it so deep that it's good to hear someone who totally is outside of the industry. They may give you something where it's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
So
To that point, Charisse, can I share with you and your audience a little brain factoid that blows my mind every time I think about it? It
all right,
really relates to what you just shared.
let's do it.
Okay, so of the entire available visual field, so just kind of glance around and notice like what all's available to be able to see.
Hmm.
How much on average do you think that we human beings actually take in?
Ugh. I bet it's small, under 10%.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Uh-oh.
It's yeah. It's yeah, 0.0035% is what we actually see of what's available.
Wow.
So, to your point about getting different perspectives, oh, the other thing I wanted to share is throughout the day, we often get stuck in foveal view. Foveal view is that like what's right in front of us. So, like right now, I'm seeing this pen. Let's
Yeah.
say this pen was a business problem,
Hmm.
and that's all I can think about.
Hmm.
It's all I can see, it's all I can think about. The more I look at it, the bigger it becomes. The bigger it becomes, the less I'm seeing outside of this.
Hmm.
So, in order to shift into peripheral view and to take in more of what's actually available, we need other people to help us do that. It's
Mm.
really, I mean, there are ways to do it on our own. It's so much easier and faster with other people.
Love that. Love that. That is great nuggets that you've shared.
Thank you.
Tracy, on that note, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for sharing all of those great nuggets. Um, and for those of you that are listening to the podcast, Coffee with Cher, we also have a YouTube channel, Coffee with Cher, with all of the episodes. So make sure that you guys subscribe so that you can get great nuggets like those shared by Tracy today. Tracy, we look forward to your session that is happening, AKA today, not really today because we're filming a little ahead, but AKA today. Those of you that want more of what Tracy was sharing, make sure that you guys sign up. 15% off. And it's podcast special is the code. Tracy, where can everybody find you? Give us like your website or where you want folks to reach out to you.
Sure. So www.onthenextpage.com. You
Okay.
can also find me on LinkedIn, of course, Tracy Benson, and also on Instagram and Facebook, both under Tracy Benson. And on Instagram, I believe it's on the next page underscore with Tracy.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for listening to Coffee with Cher. Sharice Jervis Hill here, CEO and founder of Events to Remember and PR to Remember. Thank you guys. Until the next episode.